After 2 months of renovating our 110-year-old cottage, we've made a lot of progress, from demo work and designing a new floor plan to getting everything in order to start building. So this week, we're wrapping up some demo and answering all of your questions about budget, plans, and how the renovation is going so far. Hi! Okay, there are things that need to be accomplished and checked off the list. So I have a whole list of things that were either partially done or still need to be done, or we're just tying up those loose ends this week. It starts now. One of them is finally taking down this wall. This wall is proving to be the hardest wall because there is so much shiplap, and then there are also layers of beadboard on each side. So it's not just one layer, it's like 2, 3, 4, all of it. So let's get started. Of ceiling tiles. There are 3 rooms with ceiling tiles that need to come down, and each room is different. Having to move the ladder so much more in the 3rd room, but I'm getting there. Ow! It fell on my head! Good to have my partner in crime, or in this case, my partner in demo here. To demo this wall. I want to see what the living room will look like without this wall, but I think we're only gonna be able to get through one side and not this side. There's some gas lines here and here and all here that we need to figure out first, but we can see this side. 2, 3, 4. A lot of shiplap, a lot of beadboard, which is great because it's a ton we can salvage for other places. We got through one side. So I'm standing at the island, and that's what you'll see. You'll see straight through all of that, and then once that part is down, that's got the gas and the air conditioning, so that's a little more complicated. It will also be cleared all the way up. We got some more work to do on that, but it's all ladder stuff, up on a ladder, and I want to kind of tackle all of the ladder stuff all at one time. All up there, and then all here too. All of this beadboard that we now saved, and all of this miscellaneous wood from shelving and stuff, and then all of this beadboard in here needs to go up there in the loft. showed you guys up here. This is cool. This is like a loft above the workshop. It's got a whole little situation. I mean, in here could be so cool as a loft kind of apartment, but unfortunately it's just not structurally sound. We'd have to do a lot. But in here looks great. This is where we're gonna store all the beadboard and all of the stuff that we're not gonna use right away. Down here in the workshop, I've been organizing all of the trim. So I've got wainscoting here and here. Behind this, I've got baseboards that are more detailed. See how it has like the ridges in it? And then all here, I've got door trim, so side door trim. I've got smaller trim here, even smaller trim here that kind of goes all to the doors. I have thresholds. I have the kind of like the baseboards too, but right by the door, they have these 5-inch pieces. And then all of these guys that we've been taking down. So all of this, and this was old shelves, and I've got the wallpaper that we saved there and some drawer slides for future cabinets. This is all of the wood that we saved from Fox Run from my parents' property that I'm gonna reuse that matches mine. We are making some progress, but we've got a lot of restoration to do, or I do. I asked you guys over on Instagram what questions you had about the cottage, what maybe you had missed about the project, the process, the budget, the everything. So you guys sent in tons. The most questions I have ever received on a question box on Instagram. If you guys don't already follow me on Instagram at MaCenna, you can contribute to questions like that. You can see things more in real time. Check me out on Instagram if you don't already. But let's answer your questions. Why this house? Why here? Why this house? So my parents have lived in Comfort, Texas for about 14 years. It has always been a plan for me and Romeo to have a house here. We spend a lot of time here anyways with my parents. And as our family grows, we want a place that's going to be our own, that we can come here and stay and not stay in my parents' guest bedroom. Comfort, Texas specifically is a tourist town. And also, it's only 20 minutes from Fredericksburg. Lots of wineries, huge tourist town. People come from all over to Fredericksburg to shop, to eat at the diners, and it's got a lot of history, and so does Comfort. So the Airbnbs and the bed and breakfasts around here stay booked. Property in this area was just on the rise. It was becoming quickly more valuable. It was the time to buy. It was going to be a great investment to purchase property here. Also, my job is creating content, and I knew going into 2021 I really wanted a project and to invest in property that would really showcase my style. I would be able to do anything I wanted to the property to really, you know, have this experience and be able to showcase what I'm kind of capable of. All of that taken into consideration, the location, the increase in property value, close to my parents, in a town that's very popular for tourism, and that I wanted a project. It was a perfect investment for us. When are we moving into the house, and what are our plans for the property? We do not plan and have never planned to live here full time. So we're technically not kind of quote unquote moving in. This is gonna be our home away from home. We very much still live in Los Angeles. This is an investment property for us, which is why our plans is to renovate the main house, the main cottage that was built in 1910, and also build 3 additional guest cottages in the back for vacation rentals like Airbnb. They'll never be rented out on a more permanent basis than that, always vacation homes. I have not decided yet whether the main house will become a vacation rental as well. It definitely started out that way. That was original life plan, and then I kind of fell in love with all the things, and I think this is just gonna be our home away from home, but never say never. I'm not sure. Are we still moving the house back 50 feet? Short answer, no. Do I wish we were? Yes. But after meeting with not 1, but 3 different people, house movers, to see about moving the house back 50 feet so that we had substantially larger front yard to be set further away from the street, we decided it wasn't worth the cost involved. It wasn't worth the risk. I would be heartbroken if something in the house messed up because I wanted 50 more feet in the front yard. And it all works out because it gives the main cottage a larger backyard and more separation between the main cottage and the guest cottages. What is our timeline? I am completely a planner from the very day, moment, second that I got the keys. I started planning out this entire process. Now, you got to keep in mind, and I knew this going into it, that construction never, ever, ever goes as planned. There will always a surprise that comes up. There's always a delay. You have to be willing to like bend and move and just go with the flow. So I knew that this plan was very rough, but you got to start somewhere and you got to kind of wrap your head around it. In the very beginning, the plan was to build one guest cottage in the back so that I could live there, and when Romeo was here, we could both stay there while we renovated this main cottage. Then we were going to move forward with building guest cottage 2 and 3. After we met with contractors and I found one that I really liked, we decided that it was going to be much more cost effective to actually build all 3 guest cottages at the same time, not completely, just to dry in stage all of the framing at the same time and all of the slabs and all, you know, that type of stuff. This is kind of what you deal with when you're building a house. I had to get an engineer out here for drainage purposes, how rain affects my neighbors with these buildings, what's going to be taken down, like the warehouses in the back. I'm going to be removing those to finalize the permit and give it to me so that I can start building the guest cottages. I still have a permit for this house, so we may be moving forward with the main house anyways. And to note, this is a real life journey of a real person, me, doing a renovation, DIYing a lot of stuff on her own. This is not like television, you know, where they have a crew of people and you can watch one episode and it's been like 4 or 5 months or more of work and you can see it from start to finish. This is a real life series, a real life journey of someone doing this, and I'm doing a lot of the work myself and I only have 2 hands. So it's gonna take time and I'm so much enjoying this process. I hope that you guys are enjoying this process, even down to the smallest of details like the doorknobs. I got so many questions about the driveway, where I was gonna park, and landscaping. So this is the existing driveway. It's just gravel. There's nothing really here. It will be a pretty driveway coming in. The whole front part of the house will be fenced, separating it from the driveway back to the guest cottages. You can see down there that there's those 2 workshops that will eventually be removed. I'm just keeping them for right now so that I can restore a lot of the items that are inside the main house and we can use it as storage while we build. I haven't quite figured out the access to park for the main cottage, but essentially you'll come in the same way like you would for the guest cottages, but eventually you'll veer off and you'll turn into, I don't think a garage of some kind, but something like that next to the house here, because this second window right here is going to be the back door. So you're gonna enter there to the pantry and then into the kitchen. So it was really important for me to have an access to the kitchen because you bring in groceries. So we have to park somewhere along the side of the house towards the back of the house. As far as landscaping, we're far along. We're pretty far from landscaping. Since I want there to be so much separation from the main house and the backyard to the main house and the guest cottages, we have a lot of opportunity for beautiful trees that we're gonna plant and a garden. And I don't think that we're gonna do a pool. That's a lot of upkeep for some place that you don't live full time. You can get an idea of how deep the backyard for the main cottage will be. You are standing at the final wall or the back of the house. So I'm gonna walk all the way back to where fence for the main cottage is gonna be, and that's how big our backyard is going to be. Width-wise, you're standing at the edge of the fence along the driveway side. So where, you know, vacation goers will drive to the back. I'm gonna walk all the way to the bamboo side, and that's how wide our yard is gonna be. That could be an idea? I hope so. It was kind of impressive to me. I was like, wow, this is actually really big. Right now, you're standing at the back fence to the main house. So this is where the fence side of the guest cottages will be. So this is how much space I have for the guest cottages. Should I run back there to give you a perspective? Okay. Did that help? You see how much space there is? All the way to the side yard, all the way back there is all of the dedicated space for the guest cottages. So I do have a site plan so they can give you a better idea of where they're gonna be laid out. Here's kind of how they're positioned. Each cottage will be 675 square feet. They will each have their own one dedicated parking spot, and this is how it most makes sense in the layout wise. And then they'll be landscaped beautifully. There's already some trees here that I have no intention on taking down. Can you run through the floor plan and inspiration again? Yes, I can. For the front, I do want a beautiful fence. I want it about chest level. We are gonna be changing some of the design just so that it's more functional. I want the porch a little higher. I wanna keep the turned wood columns. I just need to figure out how that works once I raise the roof a little bit because it's very stunted. Here's an inspiration picture for kind of how the overall look will be with a dark wood floor. I want a beautiful like black swing and these big oversized ferns on the front. Now on the inside of the house, there are so many things about this house that are staying exactly the same, but there are other things that just need to be renovated in terms of making it function good for our family, have a better flow, have the floor plan make sense, maybe one down the line make it resellable because the way that it was just not functional. The foyer was completely dead space. I know that there were a lot of controversial conversations and you guys were literally 50-50 split between keeping a foyer the way that it exactly was, which is not what I want at all, or moving it to open concept, which is what I want. So the open concept to keeping the foyer ideas kind of met in the middle for a perfect combination. On this side of me will become our kitchen. The entryway to those two rooms right now are on each side. There's two individual doors. All we're doing is taking those individual doors, moving them to the center for a singular entryway, which will create the illusion of a more open concept to the kitchen and dining and back door area, but it will still be closed off by at least 3 feet on each side. It'll still give it a foyer feel. To my left, your right, will be the living room. And yes, you will walk right into the house into those main living spaces of the home. The house is not big enough to have them repositioned somewhere else, to have rooms that are just underutilized in the front of the house where we have the best sunlight. If I was adding on tons more square footage, we have the property, but that's a huge investment. We're not doing that. It's staying under 2,000 square feet for the main house, so it's the perfect spots for the living room and the kitchen. Hi, welcome to the addition that is not here now. You'll walk through this beautiful walkway with a transom and the windows that match the front door into a hallway closet, and then a hallway back to a guest bedroom, a guest bathroom, and the guest bedroom has its own closet, the laundry room, and the main bedroom suite, which is the bedroom, the bathroom with a shower and a clawfoot tub, and also 2 closets. So one in the bathroom and then one in the bedroom itself. In this little nook area right here, there's gonna be a pantry and then a coffee pantry, and we are able to keep that kind of chimney detail that is original to the house, because by moving a wall around or two, so that's staying, and then I'm gonna put like a cubby next to it, kind of a skinny cubby next to it for shoes. What has been the biggest challenge with renovation? It is a huge learning curve. I have never done a renovation project before. Even though my parents are experienced home builders, they've always built new homes. A lot translates, but this is definitely an experience, a new experience for all of us. My comfort zone is really in decorating and designing, and I can draw. I went to design school, I can draw a floor plan, I can do those things, but in terms of like demo, never done demo. Since the beginning, we knew that there were things that we were not going to tackle on our own, and they were foundation, framing, roofing, plumbing, and electrical. I don't specialize in that. There are people that know that, and I want these built well. So now for probably the most requested information. The most asked question is, what is your budget and how much is this all costing? For the guest cottages, the 3 in the back, I have a target price for square foot that I'm trying to hit, and that is $100 to $120 per square foot. They're each 675 square feet, so you can do that math. And that's the budget from start to finishes, all of it. I think we can hit at or even below that mark. I'm gonna be doing a lot of the work myself after the drywall part, but I think what will balance me saving on doing it myself, I want these to be nice. And I don't want them to be builder grade, and I want them to be special and be a really amazing vacation spot for people. So there are some things that I think I'm going to go higher on and spend more money on. So I think it's all gonna balance out. So hoping hitting around $100 a square foot. For the main house, there is no budget. Not because it's endless or there's an endless amount of money, just because I have no idea. I think that the budget question is a big question that everyone wants to know, is because it's so hard to wrap your head around. One, I've never done this before, so it's gonna be a random number that I can come up with. We won't price out the market for this area, but I want things that I want, and if it takes me years to do it, that's okay. So there isn't a specific budget, but what I will do over time is tell you how much things actually cost me, because I feel like that's so much more valuable, and that will help anyone that's going to be on this journey in the future to have a frame of reference. Also, with wood being so high, I think it's going to be more expensive right now than it might be in a few years. Who knows? So far, aside from purchasing the house, our budget for finding a house was between $175,000 to $250,000. We did go and tour other homes that were more than that had been kind of sitting on the market for a little while. But we found this house. It wasn't originally priced. When the price came up, it was in our range, and we bought it. So it totally worked out. And aside from that, from buying the house, I've spent virtually no money. We have not, all the demo work would have cost me so much money. We did it all ourselves. Another question that you may be asking yourself is, how can I afford all of this? I am a planner and a saver to a fault. I have been saving for this, always wanted my own house, my project like this, since I was in high school, and I'm 32 now. I've had several corporate jobs before I did what I do now, that I would save and save and save and save and save and save for the future. In general, I saved everything. When I left those corporate jobs because it wasn't right for me, I took some of that money that I had saved from corporate jobs and invested it in building my YouTube channels and my business, which is a lot more than just the channel that you see. So now I'm taking the money that I'm investing now into our future, which is why that this is an investment property. I think through this process, you guys can kind of see my work ethic and my dedication to something that I put my mind to, combined with being a saver and a risk taker. I'm able to afford this, and I'm incredibly grateful for you guys to showing up every week and for helping me pay for this house and all of the things that we're gonna do, which is why the timeline may take a little more time, because I'm investing all of my money into it. I am financing it, it's me, so that we can take this money from the investment from these Airbnbs and invest it in our next project. That's how my brain thinks of life. And finally, how I stay energized and motivated through this whole process. I love doing this. This is so exciting to me to wake up every day and work on this property. And also, this is my job. I create content online. I'm sharing this journey with you as this is my own life, but also as hopefully entertainment that I hope you guys enjoy watching this journey. I hope you're learning something, but also more importantly, I hope that you're inspired. That's my only goal. I hope to inspire and motivate people to try things that they've never done before, or do something that they've always wanted to do. That, at the end of the day, to me is success in my job. I do that through home decor because it's my passion and I love it. And, you know, it motivates me to keep going because I'm so excited to see it finish, and I'm so excited to build this investment for my family's future. And I think that that's what drives me every day. Although I have been doing a lot of manual labor, I have been taking days to rest. So the days that I'm doing computer work is a great day for, you know, my muscles to rest so that I'm rejuvenated. I'm so pumped about this house. I cannot wait to get to a point where I can decorate. I just want to get to the pretty stuff so that we can, you know, does that make sense? So we can do this. Designing different areas of the house and painting and buying furniture if I have any money left. Creating that type of content to share with you guys keeps me motivated to get through this stage. So demo is officially a wrap. after you see this video. I know that there are gonna be weeks where not a lot of things are happening, and there's gonna be other weeks where there's a ton of stuff that's going on, and that's just part of the process and part of the renovation. So I hope that I answered some of your questions. I would love to hear from you guys. Any more questions that you have, comment down below. If you have anything that you're just dying to see, please let me know in the comments so that I can incorporate them into different videos. But I appreciate you guys so much. I would not be here doing this today if it wasn't for every single one of you. And you guys are so creative and cool. I couldn't ask for anything more. I'm literally sitting in a house that I own. Thank you. Oh my, I didn't know I was gonna cry in this video. I think it just settled in. I think it just settled in that I actually own this house and this is like mine, and it's just a huge accomplishment for like life in general. And I'm just incredibly appreciative. So I thank you. Comment, like this video if you liked this video, subscribe, let me know what you want to see. So I will see you guys next Sunday and again on the vlog channel, and you can check it out too. Bye guys. Catch my breath. That was a long run. How do you start running again? I used to run marathons. What's wrong with me?